gentleman. His name is Vincent Pissarro Nasca, and he has come to the Township Administration Building to look through old photos. He is putting together a photo history of Homer Glen. The hope was to have it done before Homer Glen's anniversary, but that's not going to happen. But he is seeking photos of, buildings, farms, things that have happened over the last 25 years, events, and even further, especially for the township. And he's doing quite a bit of work, and I'm hoping someday that we have a historic commission that really brings all that information together. So my request to anyone that's watching this is that if you have photos and history from, many years, even the past 50 years here in the community, those would be welcome. Also, hopefully many of you received our first newsletter, came out at the end of January. It's sent via email, and we're working to get printed copies so we can leave them at the counter and deliver them maybe to the senior apartments and senior communities, because many of those residents aren't always on the computer. And the goal for that is after our monthly meeting, within a week or two that, we would get the newsletter out that would have any updates of items that happened at the meeting. Also, a reminder to the high school seniors, we announced this last month, there is a scholarship available. The deadline is March 2nd, and the application is on our website currently. Also, we are accepting applications for the collector's position, and we've gotten a few, I just haven't reviewed them yet. And we are hiring a custodian for the township. So those information about both of those positions are on our website. And I will also be going to early voting training on Wednesday. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm glad that our administration office is going to be used for early voting again. So other than that, I'll probably touch on what we saw over at Yonkers Farm when we talk about the community center. So if we want to move on to approval of bills for payment. I could have a motion for that.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Trustee Seegers and Trustee Melody. Okay, any discussion?
Nope.
Okay, what I said, I put a little sheet of paper also on the table. I was going to talk about it in the budget, but I'm planning on adding that to, I was planning on adding this to the approval of bills section at the end of the month. It highlights the income and expenses and where we're at in our balance in one clean statement. So anyway, if you want to...
Supervisor Stalin?
Aye.
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Melody?
Aye.
Trustee Severs?
Aye.
And Trustee Merson?
Aye.
Next is approval of amended 2026 senior committee meeting dates. Here, I believe we had, some of the committee members had a conflict, and the committee needs to change the meeting dates.
I'll make the motion to approve the amended 2026 senior committee meeting dates.
Trustee Gray?
I will second that motion.
And Trustee Melody. Okay, any other discussion?
Okay. Supervisor Stalin?
Aye.
Trustee Melody?
Aye.
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Severs?
Aye.
And Trustee Merson?
Aye.
Okay, and the next item is approval of appointment of Trustee Chris Severs to the Veterans Committee. And I wanted to say, Trustee Severs, thank you for attending those meetings and taking minutes before you were officially appointed. Okay, do we have a motion for that?
I'll make the motion.
Mr. Merson? Did I hear a second?
Melody's
Second.
Melody's on the fast
Okay, I'm called. Any discussion? Should we rethink this?
I think we should discuss it. No, I'm just kidding. I'll get it.
Supervisor Stalin?
Aye.
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Melody.
Aye.
Trustee Severs.
Do I
And Trustee
abstain?
Marson.
Aye.
Do I abstain? Because it's
vote.
about
I
myself?
think we would.
Oh, then aye.
There's no pay for it, Chris.
Okay, then on to old business. First item is the community center update and survey results. And in our packet, I included, we put a survey out, it was posted on Facebook and also on our website. And I also brought paper copies to the senior bingo, trying to reach out to as many residents we could. And I think we had like 500, does it say the number total on, well, at least 546 responses. And it wasn't a scientific survey though, but it really did give us information to go on and let us know what the community is thinking. So it just shows.
And if anybody would like to know what the community's thinking, they can read the comments. The packet is online, so.
Yes. The comments that are in there, there were multiple choices. And there was on the first question in particular, there was an other, and some people added extra comments, and so we included those in the packet. I didn't want people to think that we were ignoring any comments, but so they are there for anyone to see. So I will leave this open only so that if people want to still continue to comment, I'll leave it open for a little while. And as I said, our next step is to really focus on funding and moving forward on what if we can do for this community center. Also, Trustee Marson mentioned going to Younker's Farm, and I would really encourage people to take a look at that building. Because I believe it's smaller than
I think it is.
the
I
building
think
that
it's
we
smaller
have.
than ours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I meant to look at to see if they had online what the square footage was. The gentleman didn't know what it was when we were there. But basically it was one big room, and then they had a smaller meeting room. So you could use the rooms combined, or you could have two events at the same time. And their kitchen was basically just a warming kitchen. They did have a stove in there, but he said the stove doesn't get used. They had like a big rack where people could put food in there to warm. They did have a grease trap, so that kind of fits in with the possibilities in what we have currently planned at our.
I'm sorry if I missed, what kind of events do they have there?
Everything.
Yeah, they had a wide variety. They do have weddings there.
Weddings.
You know, they have, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, but he said a lot of times they use the other buildings. And, that can't be right, 1,478 square feet.
The community center's
Yeah,
10,000 square.
yeah, so that can't be right. So I'll just have to, that's something else. We'll have to take a better look at that, because I don't know, I think it was bigger. Just ignore that, we'll figure it out. So anyway, and it was charming. They had eaves on the sides with picnic tables and a lot of windows, and that was the difference.
The only thing they can't do there is any type of indoor sports because their lighting, it's almost like a chandelier that comes down, and they're big wide circles that they use for the lighting. They
Big
have about
slice there,
6 of
too.
them. So there's no way they would be able to do sports inside of there. But when we were there, they had 2 groups come through for potential weddings. So they get a lot of use out of it.
That's all it's done. So, and then not that that's the focus of our building, but
Right, but
it
it's
just
just nice to know what it can
it was a big multi-purpose room.
be. Got it, okay.
So, and I did take photos, and I'll try and share those in the future. Okay, and then, so moving on to the next thing was the Will County zoning case, special use permit for landscape business on Cedar Road.
Are we discussing the
want
survey at all? I mean,
I'm
some of the
sorry.
results here?
I should have moved down.
I mean,
to the
like
other
you're
side.
saying that you're going to leave it open for a while. I think that's a good idea for collecting maybe more comments, but it doesn't really look like it's going to tip the scales
No.
in these
no.
breakdowns. You've got a 71% saying make it a flexible space. I mean, some of these categories, it doesn't look like leaving it open another week, month, or even half a year is probably going to change that.
Right. Well, we did have it open for a month prior, It was open from between December 14th and our last meeting.
Okay.
And then we decided to leave it open another month to see if we could boost the responses. And it did go up, but the layout was still the same.
Okay.
I mean, what went up was maybe the interest in senior activities, mainly because we were able to reach some seniors with the survey. So, anyone else want to comment on that, or anything with the community center?
So, and again, the survey itself, while it's in our packet, and certainly anybody can get that online, are we going to have this standalone on the website as well? Can we? The results of it? Like, can it be
Oh, put this on the
on the
website?
website?
Sure.
Yeah. The results, so people can see what
Yes.
where we're at right now. So, and so they don't have to go through the packet and everything.
I don't remember, did we email the survey too?
Oh, I'm thinking, yes, thank you for saying that. We did.
We did.
We had that list of, well, it was a list of 10 to 11,000
Oh,
names.
that's right, yeah.
But there's been a lot of bounces and
Yeah.
unsubscribes. So I don't know how old the list was. And so if you would like to be included in those items as well as the newsletter, we do want your email addresses, and we're only going to use it for township communication. Just to assure you of that. So that is the other thing with the community center page on the website. We're trying to make it more user friendly, but we have added items like the back sheet and I don't know what else we have on there. I have to take a look. When the items do come up, we will continually add them to the site. Okay, moving along to the Will County zoning case 25-121, special use permit for landscape business at 17958 South Cedar Road. I attended the land use meeting last week because at first when we heard about it, I think a lot of people didn't really think much about a landscape business going in on Cedar Road. There's a mulched place, and Cedar Path Nursery's near there. Cheerling was a nursery that was right on Cedar Road. But where this landscape business is going in, it's right between the two curbs on the S curve. So there's a house that has an entrance there, and the Forest Preserve has an entrance in between there. But the concern for many of us board members was that with that business comes trucks, for one thing. This is a hardscape landscape business, so those trucks are not likely to be moving fast and pulling out fast, and people coming around the curbs. There's not a whole lot of stopping time, and especially once one car is stopped, the next car that comes behind it has even less time to react. So I did go to the land use committee. I sent them a letter outlining some of our concerns and requests for a traffic study, site distance study. I asked them to talk to the sheriffs and the fire districts before. They did approve the permit at the land use committee, and it's going before the Will County Board on the 19th. And I will go to that meeting as well. And if anybody has any input, I did do a FOIA request for the sheriff's department, or from the sheriff's office, to ask about the accidents. I did do some Google searching, and there have been 4 fatalities between like 167th and Chicago-Bloomington Road on that section of Cedar Road in the last 8 years. And to me, that's a major concern. And I don't know, I also requested for what were all other serious personal injuries. So you hear about fatalities, but what about the other accidents that might have occurred? So,
I'm sorry, so anybody bring up the homes being built out there too?
right,
The new
and I
traffic?
did, yes, and that would be another reason for the traffic study. There's going to be 700-something new homes going in that area. And also, it's only going to get busier with other businesses. You know, Ponos has their events, and
It's just a bad place.
Yeah.
Between
Yeah,
those two curves, it's a very bad place for slow-moving trucks to be trying to get on and off the roadway.
and it's a confusing road. I did note it's 50 miles an hour before you hit that curb, and it says to go 35. But we all know how that works. There's probably a few people that are actually doing 35, going around the curb, and they take it 200 feet to,
And then it goes back up again.
and there's even one spot when you're south of there, and that's where the concern really comes in, is when you're coming from the south heading north from like Route 6. First it's 50, Then there's a speed sign that actually says 55. And then you get to Chicago Bloomington Road and it goes down to 50. And so depending on how you're driving, what sign you're looking at,
So
No.
you were at the land use committee and they voted to approve this. And
Yes.
did they give any reason, like, or any pushback against your letter, or
No,
did they
actually-
even consider it?
I think they did consider it. There was, there's board members on that committee, and they did recognize that they should lower the speed limit on that road.
That's it?
Will that happen? And then the land use committee felt like the ingress and egress for that site, any concerns would be addressed by the Will County Department of Transportation. They left it in their hands to figure that out. But I thought it would be, I just thought it would be advantageous to the seller and the buyer or the person wanting to put a business in there to have that clarified before that's a lot of extra money spent, and then to find out it's not going to work for whatever reason. But that's, so, and also I will say that the village manager, Joe Baber, also came to that meeting and said that he supported the directed study as well. When the village was originally contacted, and I think I did the same thing, reviewed the site plan differently and thought that the entrance was okay. But that's because you only saw it in relation to one curve and not in between the two. So that is the update on that. The Will County Board meeting again is on February 19th at 9:30 if anyone would like to attend.
So that's within the township, right?
It's in the township.
What town is it actually, is that?
It's in the boundary agreement, it will be New Lenox.
Okay, so it's New Lenox, Village of New Lenox, but within the Palmer Township.
Correct,
So that small part of New Lenox that we support.
correct.
Okay.
Well, and Tearling is going to be in New Lenox. Those
I
Tearling
think it's
houses.
unincorporated right now.
Well-
It's still unincorporated, but it's in the future boundary.
Right.
Is where it would become New Lenox. They have like first right.
And then, and I take it back though, on the north side, it is Hornland.
Yeah, on the south side.
On the south side.
Is where the subject property is.
You know?
Just out of curiosity, what school district is Tearling going to be then? Like your Lincoln, or your,
It's
your,
33C and 205 Hamlin.
okay.
So it's split.
Yeah,
I mean,
Okay.
it's not 100% certain.
Kind of like Karen Springs, how some of the,
Correct.
some go to like Moore and some go to
Right. and some
D92,
go to 92,
right.
some go to 33.
Okay.
Do you know if they're going to allow them to vote on that, or is that going to be?
Allow the residents over there to vote on
Yeah.
what school district they'll be in?
Yeah.
I wouldn't think so, only because it's going to take them a long while to build and sell 700 homes. So I would imagine they demarcate that,
Because I thought back in the
Before that.
day, that's what they did
because otherwise you'd have,
with Lockport. They voted.
somebody would still have to strike a boundary, and
Right.
you'd vote on that boundary. It wouldn't be like individual homeowners voting, like I want this one or that one.
And
That
I
would be
would-
a little too confusing.
And I would think the school districts would have that, the developer, what's it called? Where you get money before.
Impact fees.
The impact
Impact
fees.
fees, there you go. They would want that set before.
Yeah. They want to know what their other ones.
Our schools are going to be busting at the seams.
It's likely, especially 33C, I know. is,
205, maybe, the same.
But half of, not half, Tearling, while was going to be about 700 units, I think, a significant piece of it is 55 and older community.
Correct.
So it's not all just, family houses and everything that are going to impact the school. So there's a little mitigating factor there.
Okay, moving on, I had on here for budget discussion. I would like to say thank you to Assessor Morella, did meet with me since the last meeting and submitted his budget. And he didn't increase it at all. Was it nice of you? I still would like to meet with each trustee individually. We've been collecting comps for salaries and insurance from the surrounding townships and communities. Just about finished with that. Some of the things that I would like to consider when working on this budget is improvement plan, some kind of improvement plan for founders, the seniors, because some of the units were refurbished and some weren't, and maybe we could take a look at what we can fit into this. The budget kind of is confusing to me. I kind of found it a fantasy budget because it shows more money that you're really getting in and more money that you're really spending, and you're not really doing those things. So that's why I came up with this sheet that I said I wanted to include in future when we do the approval of the bills. And it shows that, it shows each fund, what the income is so far, year to date for each fund, what the expenses of each fund. I mean, you can find this all in the packet. It just gives you a bird's eye view like right away. And what is the balance that's left in those funds. And we still have 2 months that aren't included in this sheet. We have February and March to finish out. And you can look at this right now, and I would say that we ran pretty tightly this year. We ran with less employees. We really haven't spent much, but you will see that so for the founders general fund, for all of the funds except the park fund, we're going to end up with expenses more than income. And that's the way the township has operated this last couple of years, and we know that that's not sustainable. So we're going to have to take a close look at that. The only fund that didn't spend a lot was the park fund, and that's where we may be using money for the community center. So, because we haven't moved forward with anything on there. So the other thing, we have the asphalt paving request for bids should go out by the end of the week. We just have some touch-ups there. And then...
And what specific properties are those? Is that for all the properties?
Yes. And I'm sorry, I could send you a copy. It's right on it's on the table in my office. But what the...
So that's like this building, admin, the parks, like Morris or Trantina?
I don't know if we had Morris on there.
Founders.
But we had Trantina and Founders. Yeah.
And on Founders, did we take care of that whole long stretch that fronts the park portion? Where all that parking is, like kind of behind all of the commercial? Or is that not part of the commercial?
You know what? I don't know that. Carmen, do you know?
What's that?
So the Founders, where, there's the parking along the street behind, like Front Row.
Yeah.
And you can park there to go to the Healing Garden.
Mhm.
Is that ours?
I believe it is, yes.
Yes, it probably is. So I have to take a look if that was included in the makeup of that.
Yeah, if you could send that to us, that'd be great. Just so we're aware of what's on and what's not.
I think you've asked for that before. I'm sorry, Christine.
That's right.
That would give us an idea. That we don't have to wait for the next budget, though. I think we could.
Sue, I also believe we have this section along the side that brings in, there's a carve out there too that we have to maintain too, I believe too.
Where at Founders?
As you're going from Founders out to Bell Road, the road that brings us in.
Martin?
There's a
Oh, is there
strip-
parking along there too?
there's a strip that I believe is still owned by the township. It's an easement strip.
Wow.
I can pull it, I got it in our records.
Okay, if you could do that, that would be helpful. Thank you. But they have a parking lot in Founders.
Yeah, I
And
know that.
none of that has striping and it could use definitely a seal coat. Right?
Use lighting too.
So Sue, what's going to be the goal of Trantina?
Well, I don't know, because we can't really do anything to the new parking lot until we know, you don't want to finish
Right.
before the construction is
Right.
done. But there is some work that probably needs to be done. And it's the dog park
Right.
across the way really needs, that needs striping
Just
and
maybe
work.
do-
There's some potholes out there
Just
too.
maybe do the dog park then?
So the way this is, Dave Medema put the packet together to go out to bid, and I just wanted to make a few little adjustments. When we get back the pricing, I want it to be priced out for each item so that we can say, well,
Yes and no?
yes, to what that is. Okay, I'm a little bit nervous about getting this budget done because you have to publish it 30 days in advance, and my goal is to get this, I wanted to get it done by May, at the May meeting. And there isn't 30 days in between the April and May meeting. So will we be ready by March if we get together and meet individually?
Well, I thought we were
We were
going
gonna
to
do
do
a workshop.
a workshop and
Yeah.
kind of bring some people in who can give us some insight into some things too. And why aren't we? I mean, we still have half of February left.
Okay,
But,
right.
yeah.
I did reach out to like the accountants. They didn't really, I think I talked to Seigan and Hayes. I'm still, and I asked another township, they didn't have anybody. I talked to the village about it a little bit. I do want to talk to like John Sawyer's. I'm not sure, I think
And
that,
all of that effort is
Yes.
appreciated, but I mean, either way, we should still have a workshop.
Yes.
The workshop
Just with
is
us
an
and nothing else.
unstructured meeting where we can all discuss this without like violating OMA, and we can have these discussions as opposed to just one-offs with you and each trustee. We can have kind of a much more collaborative discussion, I think. And that's kind of the reason for the workshop, I think. And if we're only going to wait until, I would rather have that as a standalone meeting too. I thought that was where we were going toward in February, to have that standalone meeting, as opposed to just trying to carve out like 1 hour before our next monthly meeting, because that really doesn't pay it the respect that it deserves.
I agree. I know Trustee Melody was his busy time. Didn't we do a little search for a date, possible date, like for a workshop, and then
Yeah, I think we
and
told
once
them
we set a date?
Would the workshop be an evening thing? Evening meeting, or what?
Well, it could be,
Day?
no, it
How
could
long is the
be,
workshop?
no, we just need a couple hours.
Couple hours? Yeah. I mean, if we could do it late afternoon or evening.
Like this.
Yeah, like this. Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
Then, yeah, we can make that. I can
Well-
make that.
you guys want to grab out your calendars real quick?
Sure. I left my book at home. It's okay though.
So, and I was going to reach out to each of you guys separately for this.
Yeah, good.
Thursday night, maybe? The 19th or the 26th, was that too soon?
No, I don't think it would be too, but I don't know, Thursday the 19th?
Thursday the 19th would be good for me.
It's hard to say without my book in front of me.
I know.
If it's at home.
We can do it tentatively. and
Tentatively,
then you'll be the one to have to give us the date.
Sure, yeah.
What time would you start?
Well, I know, Ken, you typically don't get out of downtown here until about 7. Can we start any earlier?
Not earliest, I probably start at E6.
How about you guys, 6?
6 would work for me.
How about you, Carmen? Would you like to join? You
Thursday
already
night-
did your budget, sort of,
But that's all right.
we
Thursday
still
the
have to,
19th,
like,
6 o'clock. I don't know. I could probably give us one insight.
Maybe the 19th, right?
Yeah.
Procedures.
Yeah.
yeah, maybe on the 9th.
Okay.
Okay, so, Trustee Seegers, can you let me know?
Wait, is it March 19th or February?
No, February 19th.
Okay, yeah, I will. I will let you know as soon as I get home and check it.
Okay, now, do you
So
have
that we might have a
do you
doctor.
need to attend a budget workshop? I don't think so. Okay.
Now, do you want to have it here or the administration building?
I'd like to have it at the administration building,
I think
because then
that'd
if
be
there is
easier.
any
Yeah.
questionable or something that we have to look up a record, we could, somebody could quickly pop out and get that information.
Does that conflict with your senior meetings?
No. Mine's
No, it's the
18th.
18th.
Mine's are Wednesday.
Oh, right. Okay, so tentatively, February 19th, 6 PM at the admin building, if that's acceptable to
Trustee Seegers.
trustees. Fantastic.
I'll bring pizza.
So we get that.
We could order it, nothing else. Okay, moving on to new business. There are 2 parades coming up. First one is the Lockport 2026 Old Canal States Parade. It's Friday, June 12th. The theme is America's 250th birthday. And then the other one is the Homer Glen Parade, which is Saturday, September 5th. And that theme is Stars, Stripes, and Silver. And I think that theme is also based on a little bit of the village's 25th anniversary and the nation's 250th. And I would like us to participate unless anybody feels differently. If I could just get a general consensus.
Yeah.
We did, we enjoyed the parade at the Homer Glen, and it was too late for us to do the Canal Days one last year. Let's try and pull it together. And it would be nice to do both.
Yeah.
It's a 4:30 lineup, and it's a 6 o'clock parade.
And for the Lockport.
We'll fault you guys, I'm not here, so.
Okay, you're not here that day?
I'm not here this one and White.
Oh.
I come back like the day of our meeting, 15, 14, whatever.
This is June.
Yeah.
I thought you were planning an event for June 13th. For another organization, the 5K?
That is
Yeah,
correct.
that is.
Yeah.
That's already told them I can't make
Oh, okay, all right, just checking.
They
That's why I was
scheduled their date
surprised that
after
you were
they,
gonna come.
no, they
Okay.
scheduled their date after they knew I wouldn't be able to be there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, intentional.
Okay, well, we'll manage. Trustee Severs, you did such a wonderful job.
Corralling everybody?
With the parade the last time.
I can certainly help. I will be in Kansas City with my daughter for softball.
Oh, for the
Yeah.
GM?
Yes, but I'd be more than happy to help with reaching out to Lockport, getting an application, getting our efforts coordinated, and I just can't be
Yeah, I
there. I
have all that.
apologize.
Yeah, I have all that here.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can't be there either, unfortunately.
For June?
Yeah, I mean, that's better if I left for
Okay,
baseball.
so then that's meeting.
Hey, Kat.
I'll be here.
You'll be here?
I will.
Okay, so we can trust.
We can stage, I'll even say we can stage I have an office right in Lockport, we can stage.
Okay,
So if
all
we
right.
meet, there's a bathroom, if we need the bathroom, you know.
Okay.
But those are the hard things that you don't find when you're doing the parade.
I know that was the convenience one with the Homer Glen one, to be able to meet at our own office.
So-
Okay, all right, so we'll moving forward with that. So it's going to be Melody, Marson, Stylen, and Morella. Oh, 3 N's. Okay. All right. Okay. Then moving on. Just another thing that I noticed today was the early voting starts March 2nd, and it's going to take place at the admin building in that room that we are now using for our committee meetings. And usually you can't have a meeting in a room that's used for voting.
Right.
So the March committee meetings, almost like going to have to be held here. So I know you have your meeting on Wednesday, if you want to mention that to your committee.
Oh, even though it'll be over by 3, we still can't use it then?
No, because they have.
All the equipment.
Yes.
Okay.
It usually has to be secure.
All right.
So we're going to have to, so the committee's surprised and
You guys can use the assessors meeting.
oh,
We got that whole room right there, you guys can.
okay.
There's
I
plenty-
never look at your room.
There's like 9 chairs there, you guys can do your committees there. That's no
Well,
problem.
what about public access? So they would just walk through the side door still and go straight back?
Yeah,
Can we just put signs up?
the door that goes straight back is always open.
All right, well, maybe we just do that.
Okay.
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 Yeah,
Well,
it's just a lot easier because everybody's already used to being there. We just
Right.
move into that room, it's fine. I have no problem.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, that's-
Okay, so in the assessor's office.
And it's off from our offices, so it's really not a burden to us, so, you know.
I never really looked in there. It's right next to your, right across from your office?
Yeah.
You know where the 2 bathrooms are?
Yeah.
It's right behind the 2 bathrooms.
Okay,
Oh,
all right. Okay.
So all the equipment would be able to be kept secure in the
So yeah, so
right?
the equipment's in the boardroom.
Right.
And then right where that boardroom is, it extends over, and then we have an assessor's meeting room there.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do it.
Okay. All right, problem solved.
There we go.
All right, now I would like to have a motion to go into closed session pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2C1 as a closed discussion to discuss pending litigation affecting the township.
I'll make that motion.
I will second.
Melody, Severs, and Severs. Okay, do we take a roll call or just
Supervisor Skellen?
Aye.
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Melly?
Aye.
Trustee Severs?
Aye.
Trustee Morrison?
And then we'll just, we're going to have to ask people to clear out the room, we'll begin the meeting in a few minutes.
Well, you can have a
Everybody have a good evening.
Thank you.
That's my first.
You guys